Hey buddy, it's Invicta. It's time for the Ethan Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Thursday, Mosh Pit, or happy Friday, Mosh Pit, not Thursday, Friday. Well, we now are only one away from the Like Street goal of being completed for the Draw from Memory Challenge, which is going to be a challenge because the more I think about it, the more I do think that chat is going to come up with some obscure items that I'm not going to know off the top of my head, and I'm probably going to get some colors wrong, but at the end of the day, it's supposed to be a lot of fun, and I think everyone will enjoy it, so we'll see if we can get there. Let's make it happen over the weekend. It might even happen on this video. Who knows? Here's your artwork of the day, brought to you by Jens, once again on the Invicta subreddit. This time, Tyler Thread was another happy Halloween mosh pit. Yep, I do love little Daisy. I love the fact that she does look a little spooky there with her devil horns, and then we have pumpkin face Victa and a little Gengar on the side there. I think Yen's been playing some Pokemon. I do need to start playing some Pokemon. Actually, I've had a Switch 2 forever. Then we have little Sissy at the top of the trees. Thank you very much, Jens. Love all the artwork as always, man. And thank you everyone for upvoting that video, or upvoting the video. Well, yeah, first off, upvoting the video, and also Jens for upvoting that thread. I know what I'm talking about. He does give me Mike Zulu Kilo Zulu Sierra Whiskey 4 Delta. We've got 1 HP. We also have Death List and a world card. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. We did get a luck upgrade there immediately from the spider. And you know, a Death List start can provide many things. Namely, stats is what we're going to be looking for, obviously. I'm going to take the Book of Sin here because the D7 is D-awful. Got a Yave. Got one of the Yaves. But obviously, whenever you're talking about a 1 HP start, you've got to be extremely careful. You got to really know your stuff when it comes to enemy attack patterns and dodging and all that jazz. See if we can maybe get... There we go. Okay, so we're 3 for 3 on Death's List so far. And it just tried to kill us. Now, it's unfortunate that we didn't see a Soul Heart in here, and I cannot use a bomb right now to try and get a Soul Heart. Or try to get to see what that playing card is, because what's the best thing it could be for us? I mean, the absolute best thing that playing card could be. Nothing that gives us HP. I mean, that's just it. There's nothing that a player's card can do for us currently. So we need to use this bomb for a Tinted Rock if we do find one, or we can use it in the secret room. And for a room like this, don't even worry about Death's List. You're just trying not to get murked here by a Schmoovin Spider or Schmoovin Dip. And, you know, when you're talking about knowing enemy attack patterns, it also extends to knowing exactly how far of a distance they can travel. Spiders, honestly, spiders and dips do not behave in the same... Let's put it this way. They travel the same distance most of the time, but not all of the time. And that's a big problem. That's a very, very dangerous position to be in if you underestimate or overestimate how far they can travel. I'm going to roll this in here. This is in the room D20, so got a Cursed Chest, and we get a Soul Heart. Man, I'm gonna risk it. This is slightly greedy, but also slightly risky here. I'm gonna wait until we're done with this first floor boss. I have faith. I have faith in our damage, in our tears rate anyway. Really. Secret room's not there? Wow. That is... I would have lost that bet. 2 of spades is fine. It doubles our keys. And we have a golden heart here, but yeah. Hopefully it's not Haunt. It's not, but would have been a lot better had we... actually gotten a boss that could have given us some stat ups. Now, we do have to be extremely careful here. I got to lock in because... we can and will die to a Champion Famine if we're not careful. You already see that the schmooving is happening here. So basically, whenever he charges, I cannot be firing at this point. Normally, I wouldn't care that much, but being on 1 HP, fighting a champion boss that charges, yeah. Okay, now things get significantly easier. And again, talking about enemy attack patterns, you got to know it. You got to know your speed. You got to know all your angles that you can get away from at the right time. So we are going to get ball bandages, which does suck, but what can you do? At least we get a soul heart out of that, and we also get a soul heart out of the dice room here. So at the end of the day, we still lived. It was a little bit dicey. I'm not going to use a bomb to go fishing for the secret room because there's too many places it could be. It could be there. Well, actually, I know it's here. So based on the wall. Yeah, there's no reason for us to skip chance of getting petrified poop or would help on the money side of things, or get absolutely nothing. It's fine too. So, all right, there's some good, there's some bad on this run, but we're alive, and that's the best good that we can hope for. Here's the maze. So we go on to last week's question of the episode here. This one coming in from the Liberated episode, which obviously was a take on Libra making a huge a very big presence in that last run, or in last week's run. This one coming in from Quentin Snowfire again. Shout out to Quentin for the question of the episode. If you had to make an NFL team out of an Isaac character or Isaac characters and bosses, what would your starting offensive lineup be and coaching staff be, just going off of vibes? All right, so this one's interesting because obviously you've got to know a little bit about football here, right? And I do know a bit about football. I wouldn't call myself a guru, but I do know a little bit, probably slightly more than the average bear. I know that's not a dig at bear, as in Bear Taffy. I'm just saying it's a figure of speech. So if we go starting offensive lineup, I probably won't. I'll probably just do maybe like the two, like just the running back and receivers and quarterback. That's about it. It's sci-fi here, which is great. I'm not going to go through like the linemen and stuff, including the tight end. So the starting quarterback for my only Isaac characters or a team, I think if we have to go just based off of characters alone, we got to look for someone who's accurate and someone who has the range. And there is a character, or a boss in this case, that does exist that has unlimited range and also great accuracy, and that is Lamb. So I think Lamb would be my starting quarterback based off the fact that he has unlimited range when he does his brimstone attack, and also he has homing, a homing attack as well. So that's where my starting quarterback is Lamb. Right? We got a movement speed upgrade. And a Hierophant card. Okay. So now we go on to running back. We need someone who's tough, and someone who's fast, and someone who can take a beating and just keep going, and maybe even get stronger as he takes more of a beating here. And I think that the easiest and obvious choice for running back for me would be Samson. Samson would, the more he gets hit, the madder he gets, the harder he runs. Definitely down for a Samson running back. Our first wideout, our wide receiver one, we need someone who can catch, someone who's very, very capable of catching the ball, but then also being fast enough to run. And I think we need a character that's mobile, and we need a character that's accurate, but also kind of tough too. And if we're going through the list of Isaac characters, I'm trying to think of bosses that would work for that. Honestly, looking at Baby Plum here, she's not one that I had originally thought of, but now that I think about it, she's very fast and very accurate sometimes. So I think honestly, Baby Plum is our wideout number one, or WR1. So yeah, I'm comfortable with putting Baby Plum there at wide receiver 1, and then wide receiver 2, if we're running just a 2 wideout spread. I think that we have to have someone who's very, very tall, and someone who can move and be mobile as well. And I think we got to put Pin. We got to put our boy Pin, by God. Stairs and by God. Yeah, so our boy Pin, definitely wideout number 2. And then the coaching staff, I think that now this is going to be a little controversial, but I think that out of all the characters and bosses that would be out of the coach, the head coach, I'm only going to do the head coach here. Need someone with leadership, someone who can call the game, someone who knows the playbook just in and out, and is prepared for anything. And I think our head coach has got to be Isaac. He keeps everyone just base Isaac. He keeps everyone grounded. You know, base Isaac, he sets the tone for everything in the game. He gives you just the straight up stats. Right? And that's what you want a coach to be. You don't want them to be wacky and wild. You don't want them to be offensive minded or defensive minded. You just want them to be just an even keel, come up with good plays and know the score, right? That's all you need a good head coach to be. You don't want a head coach that's buddy with people. You don't want a players coach, but you also don't want a super strict coach either. And I think that base Isaac covers all that. Yeah, so that's my starting lineup and my head coach. A lot of hearts here. Yeah, Libra making a big resurgence last week, and somebody who was it? Sorry for the alt tab here. Alpha Yuri, which was the top most upvoted comment from last week, said, honestly, Sin, you could do a short every week for the best item of the week and the worst item. Just shame the one that let you down the most. Lol. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'm going to talk to Alex about that, and we'll see. Now, I do pay Alex per short. Keep in mind. So, and I'm just going to be honest with you right now. Get out of here. I'm just going to be honest with you right now. The shorts don't make any money. So every short that you've ever seen on the channel has cost me money. Yes, including the one that's at like 437,000 views or whatever. It still doesn't cover the amount that I paid Alex to make that. So, you know, there is a little bit of a cost effectiveness factor when it comes to shorts and TikToks and that sort of thing, because I do have to pay Alex that's part of his salary. Okay, let's stop taking damage here. Well, I don't want to say salary, it's part of his wage. But what I will say is that I enjoy doing them. They're great promotion for the channel. It's not always the way I look at a cost like that is that this is just investing in the channel, right? I'm paying Alex a certain amount to basically advertise for the channel. The channel itself is going to be the advertisement for the channel. The Hierophant card, thank goodness for the Book of Sin here. I have no idea where this item room is. No way. That one schmooved right before hitting this one, dude. No, game. No. We should have absolutely gotten a payout from that. I cannot believe that. Bloody Penny's not great here. We don't have any red heart containers to choose from. And that's an even worse item in the game. Alright, so item rooms have totally failed us in this run so far, except for Sci-Fly. The silver dollar, honestly, is not going to give us much benefit for a while, but it's still better than bag lunch. Got another death card. Just gonna go ahead and clear this here. And we got a shot speed upgrade too, thanks to that death card. There's a lot of factors that go into being a YouTube channel. You know, that's why I've always looked at those kind of business expenses to say, you know, this is not for financial gain in the short term. It's like it's in the long term. Yeah, think about it as a long-term investment. And of course, I want Alex to do more shorts, but he's very, very busy, which is good. I'm glad that he's getting work, and I'm glad that people have been reaching out and offering him more commissions and stuff. So he deserves it. Alex does a fantastic job. That was terrible damage. Of course, our movement speed is a little bit too high. So okay, I don't know how that one hit us because we definitely destroyed it with ball advantages. Need to get some damage here. Sir, you have no HP. Thank you. And we get Soul Heart and 4 bombs. One's going to be difficult to snipe here. Skitterers are very, very, very hard to kind of pin down when they do that. We did actually get a payout, though, thanks to the Black Heart. Yeah, this is not a room we're going to be in, so if you could just move from the door, thanks. All right, we need to get something sturdy here. We need a big damage upgrade. Deathlisk, you could help us out here. You can stop giving us movement speed upgrades for one and start giving us an actual usable stat now. And that's not to say I'm not appreciative, of course, of it. That's not to say I'm not appreciative, of course, of the movement speed. It's just that we don't need the stat now. Yeah, Sci-Fly, I don't know what you were doing on that crossing there, but you definitely weren't stopping that projectile like I thought you were. Sci-Fly, of course, is not always 100%, and he does get a little lazy. He gets a little dark bum about him. D-Bizzle, the D-Bizzle vibes are strong. Now, Sci-Fly, even though he's a great defensive item, he does deal damage. Contact damage is not significant unless you get Hive Mind, but you can use him as an offensive orbital. Oh, Sci-Fly, come on. Of course, Deathless just gave us another movement speed upgrade, so. But we've got to stop this bad damage here. Our movement speed's way too high. Get a range upgrade, which is fine. Get another dead end, which is not fine. I'm not even going to try for this room. Still searching for the item room, and we found another dead end. All right. Okay, Sci-Fi, I'm going to be honest. I am not impressed with your performance here today. Kind of moving kind of sluggish, and you're not performing up to snuff here, son. If you're going to be on the team, that's fine. Like, you know, I can get by without you, but you joined the team and you have an expected duty of yourself to uphold. So, you know, you're here. What I need you to do is I need you to stop being so lazy and actually get these projectiles instead of just not. All right, I know you're out of shape from the off season, all the patches and nerfs, but still. Came here to perform, and you're not doing your job, son. Oh my gosh. Well. that's some abysmal level of payback there, or payouts. Wow. 8 chests and we got virtually nothing. Any card we can use for the devil deal eventually when we get there. We're gonna get hit. We're gonna get hit trying to get this. Maybe not. Luck upgrade. Deathless is doing everything in its power to make sure we don't get a stat that we actually want right now, which is damage. Damage and tears is what we want now. You've given us 4 speed upgrades and a range upgrade and 2 luck upgrades, so, you know. I don't think I haven't been keeping track of that here, Death's List. Okay, we get a Yabe. Definitely want to go back into the I'm gonna go back into the item room first. Judgment. We could get an HP upgrade here, which would be fine for the Devil Deal upcoming. Okay, got it. Get twanky. All right, so 2020 is going to double our shots at the cost of 20% of our damage. Something like that. I forget the exact ratio. It might be 30%. And that's pretty nice. 2020. Now, what we're set up for here is to hopefully get NRI or Quad Shot or even Polyphemus, because 2020, the secondary ability that 2020 has will remove the shot speed, the fire rate penalty of having a multi-shot, like Quad Shot, for example. So if we can manage that, that'd be great. Your boy would be pleased. I will be satisfied for now. We have 28 bombs, so I'm gonna bomb this just for the Devil Deal increase. 73%, dude. I'm telling you, this is a poster child for too much movement speed. 73% chance for a Devil Deal here. We've got to get one. Great block by Sci-Fly. Did get one. We got a useless item from Fallen, and it's a Krampus fight, as everyone could have predicted. Lump of Coal goes great with 2020, but you already know which item he's going to drop. No, maybe not. Look at us being surprised for once. Thank you, everybody, for the support on the follow-up video for Ball Pit, or Ball X Pit. It's not, so comparatively speaking, because people have been asking to see it become a series on the main channel, and it's one of those things where it's hard to say whether or not it's going to be a good series. I was a little bit surprised at the sort of drop off between the first impressions of even Ember and Blade and Mega Bonk versus Ball X Pit, which for all intents and purposes should have been at least as popular as Ember and Blade, if not more popular. I don't know about Mega Bonk. Mega Bonk is a smash hit of a game, so it's hard to compare it against a game like Mega Bonk, but I don't want to say that the reaction was lukewarm, because that feels a little bit too. That feels like it kind of dehumanizes the mosh pit and the people who enjoyed the video. Just from a number standpoint, it was a little bit mid. I think it's the best way to describe it without making it sound super negative. And I was hoping that with how hot the game is currently on Twitch, I was hoping that would translate to a pretty decent turnout in terms of numbers for the first impressions video. And it's not bad. I mean, at the time of this recording, it's sitting at, I think, around like 7,000, 8,000 views. But for first impressions, I was a little bit disappointed in the performance. Again, Megabonk is Megabonk's Megabonk. We haven't had a second series perform like Megabonk, I don't think, ever. It's very, very rare that we see a series actually outperform Isaac. And Megabonk has done it on multiple occasions. It even beat out a new episode too. That Mega Chad run was or the Sir Chadwell run was just incredible. Incredible from a number standpoint, incredible from a run standpoint as well. So, and the algorithm really ran with that one. So I would personally like to do a ball pit series. I don't know if it's going to be on main though. That might get relegated. Might. I'm still thinking because I really enjoy the game. I think there's a lot of depth there. Definitely lots of replayability. And some people, we talked about it a little bit on the Tuesday live stream. Where is this item room? And people were trying to compare it to Isaac, and I said you can't really, in terms of replayability, you just cannot compete with Isaac in terms of replayability. My channel existing is living proof of that. When we talk about true infinite replayability, that is Isaac in a nutshell. So it's not really the same. It's not really an equal comparison to say that any game is not going to have the long-lasting appeal of the replayability like Isaac has, and it's just an unfair advantage that Isaac has. I'm gonna keep this. I bounce around between the two judgments here. Hopefully we get 2 quick payouts. Obviously, boss rush ain't happening. Treasure map, okay. Here we go. It wasn't 2 quick payouts, but it was 2 payouts, so we'll take that. Skinny on Mushroom is going to decrease our damage even more, but also increase our tears rate by a whole lot. And it does greatly break the tears cap too. There's a recent buff. We can try for it, I suppose. Okay, what's behind it though? Ooh. Oh, it's dangling it. It's dangling the carrot now with Pentagram. I'm not gonna be able to take it, unfortunately. Well. Let's see. Now I wish we would have had. We're gonna go fight the boss, and hopefully, okay, it's gonna be a little gish. It's gonna be a right crime if we don't get at least Inner Eye on this run, or Polyphemus. For the game to give us 2020 and then to not allow us to get full use out of it. And yes, I left it out of spite. Hermit card, okay. I was just gonna use it now. And it's a greed fight in our last store, so I'm glad that we have the silver dollar. Team sale would be appreciated here, greed. I'm going to contribute to this run, but I guess you don't. The dime, okay. It'll help us out with the buying power on the next floor. Next 2 floors, really. If you don't know what silver dollar does, by the way, it gives you a store in the womb levels. It can be very, very good to give yourself extra stores. Kind of mad that Deathless didn't do anything there. I don't think that Deathless should pay out with a pill. I think that I personally feel that it should only pay out with either HP of any kind or stats. That's it. The fact that it can drop kind of useless, most of the time useless drops, unless if it's like a nickel or something, is a little bit of slap in the face. Just a tiny slap in the face. Yeah. Get glitter bombs. It'll be very sad if we don't get a big devil deal damage item here. The pact would be perfect for what we've got right now. I'm just doing this just so we can get more money for the silver dollar shops. We got a range upgrade. Okay. Now, if we don't get a double deal here, then there's no hope for us to get any more damage, unfortunately. So really, really, really hoping that we can get it. I know what people are going to be saying is like, well, just take the negative then. Well, the problem with that is that we don't have a build that is comfortably able to take Shoal. And we didn't get a double deal, so you know what, game? This decision's on you, not me. We need to find the shop. I'm trying to make Deathless work. I've given Deathless multiple opportunities to kind of help us in this run, and it is yet to produce us a damage upgrade. Did find the shop. This is a bad idea. Oh, wow. Okay. This is just going to do our job for us then, I guess. Thank you. Yeah, we'll take jumper cables. What are you? Justice. That gave us a soul heart. Yeah. It's not worth the time and effort here. Honestly, neither is Champion Chub. Yellow Chub's kind of dangerous. I'm not thinking that we're going to die here. It's just she's annoying to fight. We could take Cricket Leg, but again, we'd be giving up one shop on the next floor. I don't really think that's worth it. How many hearts? And we did have a lot of people on Tuesday ask for Ember and Blade as well. as a side series. Honestly, I wouldn't mind doing that either. Like Ember and Blade, that game was awesome. You know, I mean, just roguelite fans in general right now are just eating so well. Roguelites are peaking at the right moment at the holiday season. We get a tiers upgrade, so it's going to show you exactly how much it's going to improve our damage here, thanks to Skinny on Mushroom breaking the cap. And the cap goes far beyond what you're seeing right now. Our tiers cap currently is around 7, so it's 7 attacks per second. If we can get there, that'd be ideal. Sorry about that. Messaging Ed real quick. Oh, that Edmund teasing me with the info about eugenics and I'm mad that I can't play his game. It's not fair that Ed gets to play his own game. So I need to find the shop. Yeah, Infamy Mask automatically cancel out and immediately cancel out Death List, which is dumb. Not fair, man. I've said this before, I'm not a big Tactics fan. Like Final Fantasy Tactics, what was the other one? Fire Emblem. I played those and I don't know. There's something that's janky about them that it does make it's fun. Tactics games are fun in bursts, but they're not something that I could do long term, right? There's just something about the way that the game plays out that I don't know. It's just like Into the Breach as well. Like I thought that I was going to absolutely just love Into the Breach, which is the follow-up game to it has nothing to do with FTL, but it's made by the same studio of FTL. And it just didn't do it for me. And we got a super greed fight in our last store, in our last extra store. Rolling us on a Friday here. But with eugenics in the classes and the cats and everything, and especially with it being, you know, Edmund's game and being set in the Isaac universe, it has all the recipe for being an absolute monster hit to start next year. I think we're going to see a pretty big marketing push as well to get eugenics out to the wider appeal demos out there. So I'd love to see something that had that in the interim. So if you know of a good strategy game, a tactics game that has, like, you know, maybe random loot or random classes or stuff like that, not one that's just on a pure linear progression, put some in the comments down below. I'd love to know. Very cool of NVIDIA to give me a shout out and retweet my my clip on Twitter that I did for the sponsorship for them for GeForce Now. It's just cool to be able to mingle with, like, the big boys in terms of sponsorship names and stuff, you know. Like I'm under no illusion. My channel will, I don't know if I'll ever see 1 million subs. I'd love to. That's definitely the next goal. But I'll never get to the level of, like, a Markiplier or a PewDiePie. Get Curse the Maze down here, by the way, in terms of size and stuff. So, but being able to do sponsorships for companies that work with the caliber of channels like them is definitely an honor. Especially when they're cool, too. When they're cool to work with. Like, say what you want about Raid Shadow Legends and Plarium in general. I know that I've talked about them many times before, and I'm still going to give them praise. They were some of the coolest sponsors I've ever had. Very, very awesome. Willing to work with me and compromise on things that I wasn't really wanting to do or chose not to do. They always treated me right, and I have big respect for that. Also, I just now realized that the like streak counter is still on the screen. I did not know that. I'm sorry about that. My bad, y'all. We've been vibing on this run. But it's neat whenever a sponsor just kind of latches on and wants to work with you and is really appreciative of your content. And yeah, and I try to go the extra mile to let the sponsors know, hey, I know that you're paying me to do this, but just letting you know, on top of appreciating it, I genuinely have interest in what you're paying me to do. You know, and I said that to NVIDIA, and not directly, but through my talent agency. It was passed along to them, and they really appreciated that, the feedback and that sort of thing. And hopefully we'll do another one. They apparently I'm supposed to be multi-streaming these sponsorship stuffs now. So I've never used Restream before, and I've always kind of hesitated at the idea of streaming on Twitch and YouTube. But it looks like for sponsored stuff, that may become inevitable. So we'll see. Whatever game. It'd be cool to do like a Manscaped one, or what are some of the other ones that you see the big boys do? I would never do a gambling ad on this channel, so I wouldn't do like a Prize Picks or DraftKings or anything like that. I would not. Even if they threw stupid money at me, I would not do that. There's just some things that I'm unwilling to do on my main channel. If I end up having like a trading card channel or something like that, then we'll talk about it. But on the main channel, I just don't agree with starting off as a gaming channel and then beginning to slowly incorporate other non-gaming stuff in there that isn't just like vlogs and stuff. I don't know. I'm a little bit old school in that thinking at the end of the day, I think. But you definitely will never have to worry about me doing anything like that for a sponsorship. Even if they threw stupid money at me. Even if people were like, "Oh, just take the stupid money. You know, you earned it." Blah blah blah. The integrity runs deep here, and don't have to ever worry about that. I would never take a sponsorship that I just wasn't all in for, and I won't advertise companies or products that I just don't like, or, you know, I wouldn't fake it. So if you ever see me do a sponsorship for somebody, for a game or for a company or something like that, you know that I've vetted them to the point of I feel comfortable in doing this. It's something that irks my interest or piques my interest, and it doesn't irk me, and I think that people will genuinely enjoy it. I think it's the right fit for my audience. So anyway, that was a run that happened. It definitely was not flashy. I don't know. I mean, we always have a little bit of a denouement from a Omega run, right? So at the end of the day, we still won. That's all that matters. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great start to your Friday. As a quick reminder to those of you who watch this, but also come over on Twitch, or maybe you did not know, I do Pokemon breaks. Those of you who are Pokemon trading card fans, if you like to collect for yourself, or you have kids, or you just want to reward students or stuff like that, come check it out every single Friday starting at around 6 to 6:30 Central at twitch.tv/Invicta. I've got very good prices on lots of sets, and it's always a blast. Even if you don't buy anything, it's fun to enjoy, to sit back and watch the hobby grow and interact with people. So I encourage you to come check it out tonight. It's always a lot of fun. And thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. As always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. Like, thanks to patrons of mine like OWTF LOL, Missy, Old Hispanic Guy, and Cool A. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Invicta.